where do I want to start with this? Where do I want to start? I want I want you to tell me, walk me through your thought process from what record? From what six was it 616 in LA
Did we talk about
to
Family Matters? I thought wasn't that before that?
no, it was Euphoria, 616 in LA,
Uh-huh.
Family Matters, and then it was Meet the Grams, and then it was Not Like Us. Did we even talk about Euphoria? Euphoria came out on like the Monday. I was in damn. Damn, the thing is, like, I feel like everybody's talking about it now, so it's kind of hard to like just let's just recap the whole thing. But I just want to know your thoughts, like going through the whole, like when from Euphoria to like Not Like Us. Did you see it going back and forth, or at Euphoria you was like Kendrick washing this nigga, and it was just washing this nigga all the way through?
I'm not gonna lie, like when I saw the 6 minute record before I even listened to it, I was like, this is finna get ugly. Like I just knew it was finna get ugly. And then the way he even started on Euphoria for me was really like telling. Cause it sounded like it was almost like that dude in the fight that don't got his hands up, bro. Like it's like, is he not ready for this fight? When in reality, it's what were you gonna say?
Also,
Go
no,
ahead.
you good. Also, I want you to talk about the heart, because I was reading your text and I felt like you had like you related it to the heart part five in a way that
Mhm.
I didn't really see. I want you to talk about that too.
So okay, actually, I'll go back then. So I was running on the treadmill and I was listening to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers actually, and then I went back and when it got to the end, it was the hard part five, and there was just certain things in there he was saying, and then when I started listening to more of that Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers album. There was mad times where I felt like he was shooting at Drake. And now I kind of get the whole thing of people saying like, oh, it's been 10 years that I'm throwing like slight shots. And that thing of like, people are only going to know if you're really paying attention. Like
Right.
I had to really go back and
Right.
listen, and I was like, man, like some of this sounds like he's talking to Drake or about Drake's nature, the way Drake moves, right? So I kind of started thinking about it that way, and then got to Euphoria, got through that whole six, right? And then 616 in LA, honestly, I personally got scared for Kendrick, right? Because I didn't like that song. Like
You
I
didn't
thought
like
it
it?
was just nah, that was probably my least favorite diss track out of all of them. Like real shit. And I thought it was okay, but I just felt like, how is this one of your power punches? But at the same
Let
time, no, go ahead, go ahead.
I think it was look. You know what? Where I was at when that shit dropped, nigga, we just got off the train. We in Lake Como, come outside, trees looking beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Birds chirping, white people being racist. Throw that bitch in the headphones. You like the song sample start. You like, nah, this nigga finna hit he heating up. He
Yeah,
cooking.
bro.
You already knew. Like I was like, oh no, it's finna get messy. I was like back to back. Like I'm on the cover of Lethal. What? Keep going. Keep going.
So then Drake dropped Family Matters. And me personally, I was like, okay, this is going to be a fight for real. Because, of course, push ups to me, push ups was okay. It was just a little jab. But I feel like Family Matter was a really good hard punch, right? And I felt like the last verse on that was probably one of the best Drake verses I heard in a minute. Like his flow on there, his cadence on there, the beat on there was crazy. And then the whole concept behind the video, like the different parts where he showed the G, like did you notice that was a G unit chain that was spinning, bro? That, and then him having, even them talking about him having the wedding ring and like all that type of stuff, like the intricacies of it. It just felt like the biggest niggas going at each other. Like it felt like a Jay
Yeah.
and Nas battle, bro. Like it was crazy. But then I heard was Meet the Grams right after that? Meet the Grams was right
It was
after that,
like
right?
40 or 50 minutes after. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I only listened to Meet the Grams once because that was like real dissection. Like he really went there and went at Drake's like insecurities, and I feel like just the way he set up every bar was different. And another thing I really want to point out is like Kendrick's tone through the whole thing. Like I think tone is very important when it comes to rap, and it was like he just seemed more aggressive going at Drake than Drake seemed going at him. I feel like Drake was on this kind of like not laid back, but it was like not taking Kendrick seriously. And then I'm sitting in the bed with this girl, and I'm sitting there. I see Not Like Us pop up on it popped up on Twitter, and I was like, "There's no way he just dropped another song, right?" And then I got to the line where he said, I don't remember if he had shoot your ass or beat your ass and hide the Bible of God watching. And I paused it. I was like, I can't do this right now. Like I can't. And then I got in the car. I bumped it 2 or 3 times on the way home, bro. Like
You told
that.
Shorty I gotta go. I gotta go. I
I'm
gotta
not kidding.
again. I gotta go. I gotta take a ride real quick. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
I was literally like, she was like, no, keep playing. I was like, no, this is a me thing. I gotta listen to this, bro. I gotta play this when I get in the car. Let this shit go. But yeah, bro, it was just crazy. Like I was in like utter like shock and awe the whole time because for one thing, I had never heard nobody like talk to Drake in this way. For one thing, like it was like, of course, Meek went at him. Pusha was kind of getting there, but it stopped. And I feel like Kendrick really went over that line, you know, and it was just crazy. And I was just, as a Kendrick fan, I was just hyped for him to be outside and be rapping. And the fact that people are saying, oh, he's dropping an album now. Like, I think that's the more important part to me. Like, I just love to hear Kendrick rap. I love to hear Kendrick come on and really show us his talent. But also I want to say, stop poking that bear, because that's why he kept saying, leave me alone. I don't want to take it here. Like, don't poke the bear, because Drake kept talking about that. Oh, you better come with a triple entendre, like all these entendres. But there's so many lines in all of the songs where I didn't hear them until 3, 4, or 5 days after. Like, I'm still reeling over the John Stockton and Karl Malone line, and everybody was like, "That's not that crazy of a line," but it's like, for him to even think like, okay, I'm going to use John Stockton as my point guard. He's the all-time leader in assists. I'm the best. That's where I'm starting. And then I'm on the Jazz with Karl Malone. I'm passing the ball with it. Like, that whole thing was just crazy. I don't know.
And
But
Carl,
that's kind of,
no, and Carl Malone got that smut on his name.
that's what I'm saying. That's why it's crazy.
I just got it now.
That's why.
Yo, nigga, I was in, where was I at yesterday, bro? I think I was in the store, bro, and I didn't get the Tizo line. I didn't get it at first. But I was like, Tizo, I was like, oh shit. I was like, I was in that nigga on the cross. I stopped at the store. I was like, yo, bruh, there's so many lines like that. But now that you mentioned the Mr. Morale, I got to go back and listen to that again, because I usually try not to talk about other people's commentary before I get to my commentary, but I think Joe Budden's, like, some of his commentary made me think about it in a different way, especially combined with what you just said. Like, I think there's a possibility he set this all up with Mr. Morale. Like the Heart Part 5, like this was his, like, because they kept talking about like how he kept playing the morality angle, right? Like how, like, yo, you're just not a good person. The things you're doing are not good. Like, I'm actually good, man. I take care of my family. But Mr. Morale and the Big Stepper is like, it's the most recent thing we have of Kendrick in memory, right? Like, this has been his track record for a long time of just like, yo, I'm doing my own thing. But to have that album with the Heart Part 5 on there, you know what I'm saying? And when he brought the line back in Euphoria, don't tell no lie about me and I won't tell the truth about you. I was like,
That,
oh, bro,
bro.
he's been planning this. This is the plan. And then like that came out. I think, you know what? I think he was going to do something regardless of the whole Future Metro thing. I think he was trying to figure out a way to facilitate this. And then Future and Metro was like, yo, we don't fuck with that nigga either. And he was like, oh shit. He was like, perfect. It's the law. That's the law. And then First Person Shooter came out. All this. He's like, yo, this is it.
Even with the Heart Part 4, I had to go back because that whole song now sounds like a Drake diss to me. Like, he said, my fans can't wait for me to sun your punk ass and crush your whole little shit. I'll big pun your punk ass. You a scared
You a
little bitch.
scared little bitch.
Like,
Tiptoe around my name, niggas. You lame and what I. Oh
did
yeah,
you
that's
homie? Don't you
yeah,
tell me
yeah,
you was just playing.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
bro.
There was something else I had wanted to say about the offensive defensive thing that Joe Budden had mentioned. It made me think about, like, I have the perfect basketball analogy, but you know how they would always say, like, when you're on offense and you have the ball, you dictate the pace. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? You determine how things go. And it was definitely a thing of like Kendrick had an angle. He started with it, and Drake he showed him what he was gonna do, and he was like, okay, well, this is how I'm about to go about it. You know what I'm saying? He dictated the whole pace. Whereas like I keep hearing people say like Drake was really rapping on these records, but it's like you're not. Yeah, you're not going at him. You're defending yourself. You're defending yourself, and it was just like, yo, the cool, calm, and collected of Kendrick, bro. Don't we all wish we were that cool, calm, and collected, bro? That was the lesson I learned. Like, bro, you can't let people take you audio pace. You got to do what you're gonna do. People gonna talk about you. People gonna say things. People gonna do things for you, and you just gotta let it rock. You just
Yeah,
gotta let it rock.
yeah, and I feel like the other thing is him staying in his element was really good to me. Like I feel like he could have tried to go the Drake way and make all hits. Like that's the thing I feel like Drake kind of failed on too, was trying to make hits from jump instead of trying to like, you know, dissect this nigga, go at this nigga, focus on that. Because I feel like he also had too much noise going on around him. Like it's like you got all these different people dissing you. You're trying to go at everybody when it's like you should be focused on this one target. The only other target I might say you should still be going at is Future, because I feel like Future is coming for that third GOAT spot. He's trying to. He's releasing another project in a week or two. He's
Oh yeah, we
trying,
could
bro.
talk
He's
about that too. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
bro. Like I feel like he had so much going on, along with you putting on this big thing of like you're a nigga, got people saying OV ho in the club. Like there's just so much going on. I feel like he couldn't just focus on Kendrick, bro. Like, yeah.
Do you? So what do you believe the industry trying to get at Drake? You know what I'm saying? I think like I'm gonna come in here and do like a breakdown on the Michael Sony thing, on the Prince thing, because I feel like there's some credence to that, where it's like you get too big, they're gonna knock you down. You know what I'm saying? Like this is essentially like this is the Michael Jackson play. Like, like they and you hear people all the time say, "Yo, they went to federal court and this nigga came back not guilty," but people still call this man like weird, like with the kids and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And it like the instances that we saw, like kids around him and stuff, it is a little weird. But they went to court and they didn't have enough evidence to prove him guilty. And in my mind, that says like, okay, with some weird stuff going on, but they couldn't prove it. They couldn't prove it, which is where Drake is at right now, right? Like there's no court case, but there's a ton of weird stuff going around. And right now there's no like tangible proof, which leads me to believe like this was a setup, which is like it's so crazy to see because like I don't know. You Drake become he is the golden boy, the golden child. It's like he he get all these number one hits. He's doing what everybody wants him to do in terms of like the label system. He's the label darling. And then he just get too big for his boots, too big for his britches, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They just like, nah, we gotta it's time to take him out. Like that's crazy to me. That's just crazy that it's like, bro, no who's been able to just escape that? You know what I'm saying? Like who's been able to escape that? Like I think Jay-Z's just seen the writing on the wall and was like, bro, there's no winning this game. There's no winning this game. Right? I don't know. It just made me realize like there's no like what's the end game in that? How do you gracefully bow out as Michael Jackson or as Drake? There is none.
I mean, I feel like especially with music, they're going to try to get as much out of you as they can before they feel like you're just useless. And I think they're seeing that Drake is starting to get that freedom, and maybe they are trying to go back at him because of that. Like, I feel like the industry could be seeing that and seeing how much power he really has. Like, when people say like, oh, he's going to be in everybody's Spotify rap, that's just because he's in so many different genres doing so many different things that he's everywhere, bro. And he's not slowing down. That's the thing. Like I don't see Drake really slowing down. If real charges get brought out, yeah, I could see him slowing down. But I haven't seen a person in the music industry, in the movie industry, in any of that where they were able to come back from some not even allegations like that when real court cases came about. So I could see them using that angle to get rid of him and to possibly, I don't even, that wouldn't be protecting your investment, like more so trying to get some of that power back. Maybe that would probably be my response
I
to that.
Okay, so my next question for you would be like, where does Drake go from here? Because in terms of like hip hop and pop or popular music have kind of been synonymous for a while now, right? And you can be pop, but you cannot be hip hop. But how do I say this? You can be pop and not hip hop. But if you're hip hop, a certain type, like you're pop as well. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could sort of be both. So I like Drake living in this hip hop lane now. Like I don't foresee it being like at least here in the States, right? Because this is a black diasporic pod, right? And I feel like there's things going on outside of the States that he could lean into, right? So where do you see him going from here? And then I'll tell you some things I think he could lean into or that I think he's going to lean into.
I more so see him towards like the honestly never minds, the jadeds. Like I more so see him in that pop R&B lane more than anything that I'm trying to my fake Drake Jamaican, like whatever you want to call it, like all that stuff. I feel like rap itself has already been dying off slowly. Of course, this year is going to be one of them resurgence years. It's going to look really good, but I don't feel like over the long term he's going to stay there because, yeah, like you said, JC saw that writing on the wall. I remember I saw somebody post like a Jay-Z verse where he was talking about black businesses, entrepreneurship, clothing, all this stuff. He said, y'all try to stay in rap, see where it gets you type of thing, right? Like I feel like people, once you get up to this certain level, you see what's really going on below you and you see what's really happening and you want to step away from something like that. I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's more so, like I said, going towards those honestly never minds, trying to do R&B music, that type of stuff.
I agree with you. I think, and you know, the smart thing that Drake did throughout his career was lean into those other markets and do those other things outside of hip hop because he has so many ways he could pivot, right?
Right.
Like I don't think it was a coincidence that he did the on the radar freestyle with Central C. I don't think it was a coincidence that he did that he had Central C on tour. I don't think it was a coincidence he had Skilly Bang on tour. I don't think it was a coincidence he had Peso Puma on tour. I don't think it was a coincidence that he's reaching out to like Kelvin, you know, Kelvin Momo.
Yeah.
I brought him up a couple times, the I'm
Mhm.
a piano DJ in South Africa. I don't think it's a coincidence that he's doing these things, right? And so I do agree with you. I see him leaning into those other markets for sure. Like there's somebody on Twitter, I mentioned her before, but her name is Mimi, the music blogger. She was talking a lot about how like Drake. Well, she mentioned how Kendrick said he was like essentially just colonizing Atlanta and using all the stuff in Atlanta in that third verse on Not Like Us. And she went back and was like, if you pay attention, like he was kind of doing that with the UK too. Like he's been doing that with the UK, but recently it's been super duper quiet outside of Cinch, right? Like he had a verse on the J Hus record, but there was no video, and that was a banger. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been back over there and seen like that in a while. Like the last time one of them Drake affiliated UK niggas was like put on a spotlight like that. 21 Savage brought J Hus out in the UK. Weird enough, it was random, but I see him going right back over there, going right back to hang out with the man them and all that. You know what I'm saying? I see Stormzy is picking up steam. Stormzy just did a record with Heady One and Take Heath. We talked about it on here before. I bet you that boy is on a plane across the pond very soon. Very soon. But yeah, we'll see where Drake goes. His next Kendrick album will be a banger. I don't know what it's gonna be about. I don't know who gonna be on it, but it's gonna be a banger. Um, my last question on the Drake thing, and then we'll put this to bed. Kendrick is too much of an elder statesman to be the number one. Like he's no Drake is the pop guy, right? Like the pop that little pop group was Drake, the weekend, and then you got Taylor Swift, like that group. Drake is no longer in that. Who's next?
What do you mean, like the biggest like pop artist coming?
The biggest black pop artist out that like the new one, the dude on the rise, the dude that's supposed to, and I don't want to say like Drake represented the culture, but he was with niggas. You know what I'm saying? Who's next?
Mm, I guess I would maybe my two off the top of my head. I feel like Tizo, even though he's in that weird
That
kind of
big?
rock rap. I think he's going to be really big, honestly. And I don't even know. I would say maybe Doja Cat. I feel like it's so hard for me to think of a person in this day and age that's going to be that big. Like you gotta really think about how big Drake is. Who would be able to step into that with the current pool of artists we have? I mean, Gunna
Sench.
maybe came to mind, Sench came to mind, like those type of people. I don't know. I didn't have a lot come to the head. I don't know if Sench is gonna be as big as Drake, bro. Like
I
that's
100%. And I think the only person that could top what he did is Sench. And let me tell you why. I
uh,
100%. The only, and I'm not talking lyrical ability. I'm just talking the numbers in the rap lane. And the only reason I say this is because he's been the only,
it'll come back. Don't worry about it.
yeah, he's been the only um hip hop act able to tap into markets like Drake has. Like in the same way. He's not as big yet, but in the same way, right? Like if you watch how he does the features, who he's doing the features with, he's been very strategic about initially like let me just hop on drill tracks with every drill artist in every market. Right? Like West Connect with Luciano is one of my favorite songs right now. I listen to that song every day in the gym. And it's just like every new feature he does with a drill, it's like he's got the drill market in a chokehold outside the US, right? And I feel like this next album, like he got shit with Lil Durk coming. I think he got shit with Polo G coming. I think he got shit with Ice Spice coming. Like he got drill shit for the US next. And after that, it's just like shifting. And he's tried, like he does records that aren't drill. Like that I Will record he did, it's okay. But it was his at bat of trying to get out of the drilling. And so once he like shows people like, oh, like he does this drill shit better than everybody here too. It's like now it's just okay. Let me try something a little different. Let me do like some boom bap. Let me do, you just start shifting over a little bit. And I think it like I think his dad is like partially black, right? But he doesn't say nigga on purpose, and he look white. That matters. That matters. Like that matters to the whites. Like he looked white enough to like he could be white, but he with niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like sort of like Drake. Like he in
Yeah.
that little in betweener where it's like you could be one of us, but you look like one of them type shit. And so that matters for marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like why do you think Beyonce ended up like people thought she was bleaching her skin for this country album. They
Yeah.
thought she was bleaching her skin, but in reality, it's like they were playing on the. It was some Photoshop shit, but it's like the whites want to look at people that look like them in a way. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Just yeah.
And so my guess is that Central C is going to be the next one, but I'm biased, so who knows?
Yeah, I guess I could see that. When you put it that way, I definitely could see it. But I don't know. I guess I just started thinking American artists, and that's why I didn't come up with that. But I think if it's coming out of America, I have a hard time thinking of somebody who could get there, bro. I mean, I could definitely. I guess now Central She would be a good pick, though, for real.
I want to get into. Tell me about this Gunna album. I saw the Future tweets, and I feel like why do you know why they have like a personal thing? If a personal thing, like I don't get it. I don't get it. Is it just like, yo, no, I'm still that nigga from Atlanta? Or is it like there's something else? What do you think?
I think it's more so the like kind of like the sensei and the master type thing. Like I feel like Gunna is creeping up on Future when it comes to I said sensei and the master. Creeping up on Future when it comes to like who's running Atlanta right now, who's putting out the best music in
You think
Atlanta
he's
right now.
creeping up? He's the hottest. I say he's the hottest. I go there.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. He's probably, for
Yeah.
one thing, to come out of jail, drop one of the best albums of last year, and then to keep putting out good music after music. It's definitely a testament to where he's at. I feel like he's one of those bigger artists when it comes to Atlanta and just rap in general right now. I feel like he's been running drill, and personally, I don't know why they would be beefing other than that. To be honest, like I haven't heard anything with them and all this other stuff. Like I think it's just Twitter fodder and all that stuff. But honestly, I'm excited for the Gunna album because, like I said, I really liked the last one, and he had put out what's it, what's up, what's Sam, whatever. He put that out. I think that was last week too. And that kind of got breached by the whole Drake Kendrick thing, but that was a really good song. So I'm definitely excited to hear what the album sounds like. Didn't
Did
have
you
a lot
see
of
the
features like the last
you
one.
saw
What
the
do you want to say?
features?
There was only a couple.
Yeah, it was so it's 20 songs and the only people on there are Offset, Leon Bridges, Normani, Roddy Rich, and that's it. That's it. Yo, Roddy Rich need this more than anybody. This is if he don't snap on it, if he don't snap.
I keep listening to that J. Cole album.
You
Like,
still listen to it?
yeah, I'm not even thinking about him in the beef no more because we got the actual beef we wanted. I don't care. That album, bro, like sans him beefing with them with fucking Kendrick, bro. That album is good. Like Traded Truth and Ibiza, I can't stop listening to that song, bro. The song with him and Boss and Central C, crazy. The song with just him and Boss, crazy. Like there's good songs on there, bro. Forget the whole
Yeah.
rap thing. At least with J. Cole. At least with J. Cole.
Outside of that, bro, there was no music that I cared about this weekend. I will say, I want to get into this Chance the Rapper record in a second, but that Bryson Tiller album was crazy. You were right. That shit was crazy. Especially I didn't get through it. Like I listened to like half of it the first couple times. I'm like, yo, this is decent. I got to the end. Yeah, he was getting off on that. You know, shout out
Yeah.
Bryson Tiller.
Yeah, there's definitely shit on the end, bro. I told you, bro. The songwriting on there was crazy. Beats on there were absolutely great. And like I said, I felt like Bryson's back in his 2016 back. To me, that's just my opinion, my unbiased opinion.
Chance the Rapper, Buried Alive. Did you hear the record? What did you think? Did you see the video?
I didn't
Thoughts?
hear the record. I saw some of
You
the
didn't.
video. I didn't hear the whole thing, no, because I didn't. Bro, I've been so focused on the Kendrick Drake thing that all other music besides that Gunna song has been like over my head, real shit. Like I went searching, but I always found myself back at Euphoria, Family Matters, and Not Like Us. Like, uh,
I'm gonna play you some of it. I just want to say, I think the analogy here is fire. The analogy here is super fire, right? Like everybody's done wrote Chance off. This nigga fell off. This nigga rap about his wife. All it took was them divorce papers for that nigga. That nigga back. That nigga came back from the dead. He said, "I'm buried alive." He said, "I'm still here. I'm still here." Nigga, this shit finna back. Bro, The Highs and the Lows by Chance the Rapper and Joey Badass is a classic record, a generational rap record that we don't talk about enough. And that is on this mixtape, the Starline Gallery. Or the what is it? It's the Starline or the Black Star. I'm finna find it and tell y'all, but yo, this project finna be nuts. It's finna be nuts.
yeah, I definitely think it's gonna be nuts. I always like to see how artists come after a big event happens to them because I feel like that's what really pushes art a lot of the times or pushes artists is them being in these uncomfortable situations or them going through something in their life and talking about how they got through it and what they really experienced. I feel like when you happy and everything's going good, yeah, it's hard for you to kind of come from that place of hunger and like I really still want this shit. But you can hear it. You can hear it in his voice. Like it sounds like he really back.
And I also don't think okay, so it's called the Black Star Line. Oh no, the
That's what.
mixtape. Okay, I think there's a couple things. One, it's called Starline.
Mhm.
It's a mixtape, which I think is important. You know what I'm saying? Man dropped an album and it just, you know what I'm saying? It was like we don't care. But the mixtape was his thing. The
Yeah.
mixtape was his thing, which I think is important. The Black Star Line, a short-lived shipping and transportation endeavor meant to transport goods and services and African American tourists to and from Africa. Is Marcus Garvey. Shout out, Marcus Garvey, Jamaica's real bad month. In the clip that he put out, there were Vic Mensa, Lil Wayne, Lil Yachty, T Pain, Jazzy Fa, Jermaine Dupri, and DJ Premier. I think I think this is the bounce back. I think this is the bounce back. You know what I'm saying? That's my
Yeah,
opinion.
I definitely think it is, bro. I think he's getting with the right people in there with the right artists, and like he ain't got no wife. He ain't got no wife. Back to acid breath chance, you know.
Get back on. I ain't gonna say get back on acid. That's crazy. I'm ready. I'm ready for this mixtape. Um, Outside of that, I just wanted to briefly. This is where I do my dissertation on Sean Paul. Did I really dive into him a couple weeks ago, or I just sort of briefly mentioned it? I don't remember.
I would say briefly mentioned it.
Okay. Sean Paul wins crossover collaboration of the year at the Latin Music Awards with Fed. Correct me in the comments. And I just want to talk about this feature run by Sean Paul over the last year and a half. Shout out to the marketing firm behind him. I'm not going to say the name because y'all don't pay us. You can, but you know who you are if you see this. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Karmika by Carol G, Bad Gal, Sean Paul. Banger. The song that won crossover collaboration of the year, Nina Bonita with Feed and Sean Paul. It's a banger. It's in Serato. Do your Googles. Unavailable by Davido. The remix has Sean Paul on it. If you know, you know. Terminator by King Promise, another banger. And then Hold On by Young John featuring Sean Paul again. And I just want to say, like, Sean Paul understanding and there's another article in here that I want to briefly mention where he talks about the best dancehall beat is based completely on the rhythm. Early on this podcast, I beat y'all head in with a sledgehammer, letting y'all know like this dembo beat is so important. And Sean Paul's most recent run is letting you know, bro, it don't matter if I'm in Colombia, it don't matter if I'm in Puerto Rico, it don't matter if I'm in Nigeria. You give me a motherfucking dembo beat and I'm finna skate. I'm finna skate. Shout out Sean Paul. You know what I'm saying? Real bad minds. So this weekend, do you got your 20? If you got your 20, we can get to it this weekend. You know what I'm saying?
I've had my 20. I'm waiting on you. I don't know what you're
All
talking
right,
about.
let's go. We're gonna do it Friday. We're gonna coordinate offline Friday, Saturday. We're gonna get it done. You finna get smoked.
No, I'm not. Like, stop playing with me, bro.
Man, G Herbo. Hire me, bruh. Hire me, bruh. Regardless. All right, you got some songs of the week for the people. You got some songs that the people need to hear this week, man.
I only got one. I heard a lot of music. Actually, I got two. I heard a lot
Okay.
of music while I was driving. I re-listened to sorry. Why is this? I re-listened to Igor. My bad. Re-listened to Igor because I was just kind of interested. I was scrolling. Spotify had in the classic rap album section. I was like, is there classic? Let me go back and re-listen. Right. But I stopped at I think. It paused me personally because it really sounded like a Kanye song. Like there was some Kanye song that I really I was racking my brain for it for the next hour trying to figure it out. But I think by Tyler the Creator and then Red Ring of Death by Baby Tron. I had so many times where Baby Tron said some lines that really stopped me in my car while I was driving through Atlanta. But those are my two. I think Tyler the Creator and Red Ring of Death by um, Baby Tron. There we go.
All right. I'm gonna check them out. Um, I will say listened to Reasonable Doubt again on this trip. I love going back to that album, but one record that I didn't really pay enough attention to, and I feel like you know when a record just speaks to you, like, yo, I need to hear this right now. Like
Yeah.
Regrets by Jay-Z, classic record. He always referenced like go back and listen to Reasonable Doubt. He give you everything there in the music, and that is definitely like that's one of them records. Also, damn, I might have three this week.
Okay.
I got
Less
two
than
and
the
a
people.
half. I got two and a half. Okay. Manigueta by El Alpha and Quavo. I just want to say this gave me remnants of that Pop Smoke song that came out with El Alpha that they took off of streaming. Um, they took it off of streaming. It's still in the Serato. You bitch ass niggas. I still got it. Um, I think what had
Uh,
happened was I think they record. I think he had that like in the tuck. Like when Pop was alive, he recorded that, and then out of nowhere, he just threw it on the album. Remember, I was like, "Oh, Pop Smoke feature," and the Pop Smoke say was like, "Nah, we don't want that out because it's no longer up." But this record is pretty good. Quavo did get off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You did lose to. I still think you lost to Chris Brown,
got
but whatever.
smoked. Got
Um,
smoked.
Last song. It's an instrumental, not really a song. It's a song, but it's not a song. You know what I'm saying? Instrumental. Black Magic by Tempo. Tempo is I don't like the ranking, but in terms of like the most important Afrobeats producers right now, I would say like you got Blaze Beats, you got P2J, and I would throw Tempo right up there. You know what I'm saying? If you want to know some records that Tempo has done, I can give you a couple really quick. He did Soweto by Victini. He did So So by Omale. Love Nuati. That song went off a little while ago by CK. Sip by Joe Boy. Contour by Joe Boy. And one of my favorites, which it's not a huge um like record that like blew up, but it's one of my favorite rap records. Shut Up by Black Bones. That's one of the records. He did that as well. So shout out Tempo, and his beat on Black Magic is crazy. So shout them out. Oh, and Better. Oh, Better. Better. You know, when the singing niggas get to talk about putting bullets in niggas' heads, bro, that's the
Bro,
hook. That's the hook. Go,
bro.
bro. That's the hook. Bro, that's the hook. Go listen to the. All right, go listen to Better by. You know what I'm saying. Shout out. Shout him out. Shout him out. You know what I'm saying. That's it. I'll leave it there. Anything you want to leave the people with before we dip out, man?
Like, subscribe, fuck with us. Kendrick, Smoke, Tim, Meek Mill, over G Herbo just for this week. I think my G Herbo set is gonna be better than AJ's G Herbo set. But everybody have a good week.
We'll see y'all next week, man. We'll see.